very challenging and effective exercise for your lower abdominals, the lower rectus abdominis, is the reverse crunch, especially on a decline board like we have here. Now in a standard crunch where you're lying on a mat or on some surface like a ball, you're using your abdominals to lift your rib cage and your shoulders. So that would be a standard crunch. A reverse crunch is the opposite. You're using your abdominals to lift your hips and keeping your upper body stationary. So that's going to put much more emphasis on your lower abdominals, and given that your legs are so long and heavy, there's going to be a lot of resistance on your abs as well. This is a bit more of an advanced exercise, but there are ways to make it a little bit easier, which I'll show you. So to do a reverse crunch on a decline board, you're going to have a decline board set up, and you're going to lie down on it so your head is up and your legs are on the downslope. You need something to grab onto to hold your body stationary, so I'd grab onto these leg pads here, or if they aren't in this position on the ab board you have, you can grab the sides of the bench as well. Whatever works to give you a good, strong grip. From here, keeping my back flat, especially my upper back, I'm going to lift my legs with a slight bend in the knee, and using my abdominals, I'm going to pull my legs up until my hips come off the bench. So you're looking for that space right under my hip bones where the hips are lifting up off the bench, and that is the reverse crunch. The rest is a leg lift. So we're not doing leg lifts, we're really focusing on what the hips are doing. So I'm here, pulling up with my abs. Once my hips leave the bench, I'm doing that reverse crunch. Now you can hear me strain with my voice a little bit, it is an intense exercise. To make it a little bit easier, if you don't have the strength to get those hips off the bench, you can either do it on a flat surface or you can bend your knees more so there's less resistance from your legs. So I'm going to put my legs right here, keeping the knees bent, lift the hips like that. Just be sure you're not overly utilizing the hip flexor and going in and out with the knee without those hips coming up at all. The exercise is all about lifting your hips off the bench. So I'll do a couple more reps to show you in that variety, and notice that the angle of my hip is barely changing. My legs are not flexing at the hip, they're staying stationary, and I'm lifting my whole pelvis off the bench. Now again, this is a very good exercise for working those lower abdominals, and it is very challenging. So if you can't do it in this style right away, try it on a flat surface with something you can hold on to, and once you feel yourself able to lift those hips, then start adding resistance and trying for these more advanced styles.